why shut down a broader discussion of causes if your objective is to reach an actual solution? Because that's what I want. This is, you know, I live in Realville. You can make up fantastic, unicorns and rainbow fart stories about how you're going to solve real problems. But until you actually come up with a real solution, it's all just noise. What's the solution? You want solutions because all the left has is take the guns away. Now, number one, that's not a practical solution because even if, Barack Obama had his way, remember one time Barack Obama, a few times he would say, well, this pesky Constitution just getting in the way of me getting stuff done. Meaning, if only Barack Obama could get rid of the Constitution, he could have really remade America in the image of some socialist African country. So, anyway, even if you made the Second Amendment disappear, poof, it's not there. Tell me about this. There's a gun registry and a gun confiscation program that immediately goes into effect. Okay? How big of a country are we? How many people are there? Are they all law abiding? By the way, who's going to turn in their guns? Law abiding people who have something to lose. For example, I would have to make a decision. I have guns. Do I turn them in? If I don't, I risk jail time. I risk losing my law license, my livelihood. My whole life is gone. That's a problem. So I probably, at the end of the day, would turn my guns in. Does, Joe Blow, the gangbanger, turn his guns in? Does someone with nothing to lose turn in their guns voluntarily? Why are we being so incurious? This is my point, I guess. Why are we being so incurious about, I don't know, the whatever drugs he was on? Why are we being incurious about this, the trans component? Obviously, this person was suffering from some mental illness. And by the way, big front page today in the New York Post about how the shooter, he was apparently not happy with having transitioned. And it's not exactly, I'm not sure, by the way, if he ever went through any kind of chemical process or surgical process, but he did change his name from male to female. He was unhappy about it. He, quote unquote, wished it never had happened. Now, Alex Berenson of COVID era fame, meaning he was one of these early opponents to all the COVID nonsense going on, has been talking a lot about in the last 24 hours about cannabis, about THC. He talks about how cannabis does create psychosis. And one thing that the manifesto contained, this is the quote. I'll just make sure none of this gets lost in translation. I want to be very accurate here, Robbie. I think I am dying of cancer, the shooter wrote. It's a tragic end and it's entirely self-inflicted. I did this to myself as I cannot control myself, and I've been destroying my body through vaping and other means. It's I know a lot of conservatives even who like to smoke marijuana, but some of the stuff out there now is very strong. But of course, the left doesn't want to talk about this. We don't want to say that marijuana actually might turn out to be a dangerous drug. And don't talk to me about if you've got cancer, dying late stage, and you're in pain. Of course, right? Medical marijuana, I get it. But that it is a recreational legal drug now, basically functionally legalized and getting abused by teens and people in their early 20s to the point that they're losing their minds. I kind of think that when somebody who writes about how they've been doing this and how they're going crazy and they go and they shoot up a school full of kids, kind of a relevant issue, no? And then there's the various drugs, right? SSRIs. Then there's think about, we didn't even get too much into this yesterday, but I know there is widespread abuse of drugs for kids starting at a very young age for, basically, it's supposed to be attention deficit disorder or ADHD or ADD. It doesn't matter. These are kids that just are active. And parents, instead of managing an active kid, end up medicating the child to make their lives easier. There are so many layers to this. I'm going to continue talking about it because all the left wants is to go guns. It's guns.